40 years ago, I resigned from government because of a government policy that had unintended consequences, shall we say. There was these huge land development encouragement loans and subsidies, and rural New Zealand was being cleared, and it was crazy, and so I said I couldn't work for a government doing that, and so I resigned and set up practice in Geraldine. In those days, if you wanted to work with rural, you had to be of rural. These days, people accept that, consultants are in town and that. But, we need to understand the rural. And I've been saddened lately that I think, again, we're doing some things that will have unintended consequences. I try and nudge positive change, that's my role. I'm just a nudger. Through the 80s, we had some wonderful understanding occurring, and we got good policy. I got asked by government to produce guides to, how to put woodlots into the landscapes. We had all sorts of good things happening, and then there was a big change again, and we no longer have landscape advice within government, which, when we're celebrating 50 years of landscape architecture training in New Zealand, to me that seems tragic, that we've got massive policies and budgets to encourage and subsidise landscape change with no landscape advice on policy or management. And it's tragic. New Zealand is this land of little landscapes, the diversity, the richness, the nature and culture of this place, of all our little places, is so important. And it's important internationally as well as to all of us. We need to have policies and processes that enable that to be respected. To nudge change, we need good systems, we need methods, we need databases that understand the diversity of our country. Mary McEwen, way back in the 80s, did the ecological regions and districts of New Zealand. Now, I think that is still a very good framework. I don't think it's actually been replaced with anything better. So it carves up our whole country into places. So you have the regions and then divvied down to the districts. So you just look at Banks Peninsula. So it's a Banks Peninsula ecological region, and within that you've got 3 districts, Port Hills, Herbert and Akaroa, and each has their own geomorphological character and biophysical character. So it's purely about the nature of place. It doesn't deal with the culture of place. It's still a good basis for things like you want to do native plantings or something. That is the basis for what is the local.